We have a massive update on the Nikita Zadorov trade to Toronto. Also coming up, William Nylander is on fire right now, and John Klingberg speaks out on his injury, so you're not going to want to miss this episode of Hat Trick HQ. But before we get into that, I just want to say that 81.6% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you're looking for a home to daily NHL, daily Leafs content, look no further, go down below, hit that subscribe button, become part of the community here, because we'll be here all season long, keeping you up to date on what's happening around the league. But with that said, let's get right into the first top of the video here, and that is Klingberg injury update. And as we take a look at this report here from Luke Fox, he's a quote from Klingberg here says, it's always been there throughout my career, but I've been able to deal with it. It kind of hit rock bottom here these last few weeks. But he is back. He may be skating again, but he's still stiff and in pain. Sweden or not, he is bummed he can't play. And obviously, we got another report here from Luke. He says, John Klingberg says his injury is something he has been managing throughout his career. Unsure if he can play Sunday. Says at least it's a good sign he felt well enough to skate today. Optimistic this won't derail his season. And I mean, this just sucks to hear. Obviously, Klingberg has been one of the better offensive defensemen during his time in the NHL. And just hearing that he's struggling with an injury and saying that it hit rock bottom, it just really sucks to hear. Just as an NHL fan, as a Leafs fan, and in general, I mean, you know, this guy came in this year with high hopes of bringing that power play unit to a next level. And just hearing that he's been dealing with injuries ever since he joined the team, it just really sucks. Something he's been dealing with his whole career. Like you said, he was able to manage it, but now it's after hitting rock bottom. So I really hope that this guy can get healthier and get back into the defensive pairings here, because I mean, he's just a great defenseman all around, a better offensive defenseman than he is defensive, but he is great. He, you know, whips the puck around, he hums it around the ice. He's really good at quarterbacking a power plays, so I really hope we get to see him back in soon. And I mean, it's just heartbreaking for him right now. Obviously, if you're watching this, Toronto just won that game over in Sweden this afternoon, so I mean, it must suck for him to be up in the press box watching that game in his home country and not being able to be out on the ice. I know he was skating at practice this morning, so I'm really hoping that he can get in for Sunday's game, even if he's a little bit, you know, injured, maybe throw him back on that third pairing, maybe run an extra defense, maybe, you know, limit his ice time a little bit just so he gets a chance to play in his home country. Because how many times in your life as an NHL player do you get to play in your home country when you're from Europe? I know that a lot of these guys were so grateful, like Nylander and Järnkrok and Lucas Raymond on Detroit, to be playing in Sweden. So I mean, it must just suck for him to be up in the press box watching this all happen. But with that said, I really hope that he gets better. He you know, recovers from this injury well, and it's still undisclosed of what the injury is, so when we get that update, we'll let you know. But our thoughts and prayers are with Klingberg right now. Really hope he gets back in the lineup for Sunday. But we're going to get into our second topic here, and that is Nylander on a heater. And when we take a look here tonight, or this afternoon, he had 3 points. His 15 games point streak grew to 16 games, a comeback win in his home country. Could William Nylander have a better night? And he says maybe putting in the empty netter would have been better. I mean, that's an all-time quote there from Nylander. But as we take a look at his stats throughout this season, obviously William Nylander has been a key to Toronto's success so far, with 22 points in, I believe, 15 games, or now 16 games. That number might go up. I don't know if the stats were updated. If it isn't updated, he would go up to about 25 points in 16 games, but as of now, he has 10 goals and 12 assists. Like I said, that may change. I don't know if it was updated right away, but I mean, William Nylander obviously has been a great, like I said, key to the success of the Toronto Maple Leafs this season. He looks like a different player out there this year. Even in this game this afternoon, you could see he was a pass-first player. I mean, he's usually the one taking all the shots. I know he still had about 5 or 6 shots on goal tonight, but I mean, that pass to Bertuzzi that scored the first opening goal, I believe it was just a pass, and Bertuzzi was lucky enough to have his stick there that he tipped it in, and he's just a great player. I mean, he's playing phenomenal this season. He's upped his defensive game a lot. He's upped his physicality a lot, and he's upped his point production a lot as well. I mean, 10 goals, or maybe 11 now throughout the first start of the season. I believe this guy's on pace to maybe have a 50-goal season, which I don't think he has had in his career. So, I mean, this guy is the key to Toronto's success right now, and we really hope that he gets extended because he's playing really well right now. Obviously, on a 16-game point streak to start the season, that isn't anything to glance at. I really do think that the streak is going to continue. Obviously, like we just talked about, they're in their home country of Sweden right now. He won the first star of the game, and he got a little trophy from Anders Salming, his Borges Salming's son. So that's a really special moment for him as well. I know he's enjoying all of his time over there. But we're going to get into our next topic here, and that is Zadorov trade update. And I know this is something that we have been following very closely on the channel here. And Elliot Friedman in Toronto, Calgary said that Calgary wants one of Toronto's young forwards. According to Calgary is thinking if they see those defensemen as rentals for Toronto, they won't get a top prospect, but if they see those defensemen re-signing in Toronto, they will get a top prospect / young player from Toronto they want. In my opinion, if Toronto wants an extension in place, then this will take a little bit longer than people thought. And obviously, I mean, we've followed this trade very closely. Obviously, if you don't know, Zadorov and Tanev are up on the block for Calgary right now. And, I mean, Toronto's hitting them, trying to go after them, trying to get one of these guys. Some great defenders, great defensive defenders that could really bolster this Leafs roster going into a deep playoff run. And, I mean, like you said there, if they want a extension in place so that when they trade them, they already have them extended, then, you know, you're going to have to go up a little bit more value for that. I mean, there is a couple young players that come to mind for me that Calgary may look after, and one of those guys here is Easton Cowan. And through his first 14 OHL games, Cowan right now has 27 points on 42 shots on goal. Obviously, part of the massive jump is related to ice time and opportunity, but my goodness, that's an incredible year-over-year improvement. Shout out Carl Cushman, one of the greatest follows on Twitter. If you're not already following him and you're a Leafs fan, go give him a follow right now. He's always up to date on all the Leafs prospects in the KHL, in the OHL, and every junior league around, so make sure to go give him a follow. But I really do think this is the sort of value that Calgary is going to want. I mean, Easton Cowan, obviously, he played great in the preseason for Toronto. A guy we might have expected to maybe make this Leafs roster, but it's so deep that, you know, he didn't get the chance. And, I mean, right now, last year, like we see in the screenshot, he had 7 points, and now he has 27 through 14 games. I mean, this is just a huge improvement for Cowan. Just shows how much of a pro he has been. Coming through this Leafs training camp, going through the preseason has really helped develop his game. And I really do think if he isn't traded, he will be in this opening night roster next year. But this is a guy you could add for a piece. I mean, you'd hate to lose a prospect like this, but if it means getting Tanev or Zadorov to potentially push you further, bolster your defense for a Stanley Cup playoff run, I mean, you kind of have to do that in a heartbeat. These are two defensemen that could really help sort out Toronto's defensive ability right now. And these are guys that are physical, that are going to make it harder on all the opponents going forward, and whether it's in a 7-game playoff series, whether it's just in the regular season. These are guys that are going to go out there, they're going to lay the body, they're going to lie down, take a knee, block the shots, and these are guys that I really think that would be a great fit in Toronto, and especially Nikita Zadorov. I know me and Mark have talked about him a lot. Another guy that kind of comes to mind here to me is Fraser Minton. Obviously, he just got sent back to Kamloops in the WHL just earlier this season. But this is another young guy that we could potentially see being traded as a young / top prospect to Calgary to get some of these guys here if they do get extended. Another guy I'm looking at here is Nick Robertson. I know he is playing really well right now on the Leafs, but I really don't think that they would give him up. I think they would rather give up maybe Cowan or Minton. But, I mean, he is an option as well. Another option, obviously, playing the fourth line in Toronto right now is Bobby McMahon. I mean, they have 4 great prospects there that they could, 3 great forward prospects that they could trade for one of these defensemen and get a great return on them. So I really think that we will see this. But like they said here, Elliot Friedman said that it might take a little bit longer than everybody expected, because if they want an extension sorted out, obviously that's a longer process than just getting them traded over and then signing an extension later this season. So we'll really have to see what happens here in Toronto over the next coming weeks. Obviously, we'll keep you up to date on everything that happens surrounding this trade. I know a lot of you people down in the comments section have really been wanting this trade to go through. I know me and myself and Mark have been covering a lot of it, so I really hope to see this happen because this could really help out the Leafs defense. But let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Would you give up one of these young prospects for Zadorov or Tanev? Let me know down below. But with that said, let's get right into everybody's favorite topic here, and that is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Martin. He says, I'm cooking up some Swedish meatballs for dinner tonight. Shout out to you, Martin. Thanks for commenting on the video. I really liked that comment, made me chuckle a little bit, but I really hope those meatballs were good. Might be not as good as IKEA ones like we talked about it in the video, but appreciate your support, appreciate you commenting on the video. But if you guys like this video, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're 30 subscribers away from hitting our goal of 2,000, so it's 30 of you watching this right now that aren't subscribed. Make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. But if you enjoy the NHL and you enjoy the Leafs, make sure to check this video out that's popping up on your screen right now. But I've been KC. Keep your stick on the ice.